talk us through what it's like to kind of to walk out here in Nashville, to hear the pop of the crowd, and what that does for you walk into the cage.
Were you sitting out there when we walked out? You know, that's what it does for us. I feel like we got some of the loudest cheers the entire night, and we're low on the card. You know what I mean? So to come out here and get that kind of love from Nashville and our hometown is it's a blessing. You know, beyond your dreams. You know, a lot of people just they really, really, really want the UFC to go to their city, go to their hometown, and it never happens for a lot of people. So to be able to experience that, it was huge.
It was an absolute dream, you know, for me especially. I'm brand new, so I've been to some undercards now, and the first fight, there's barely any people in the arena. So to walk out and to hear that reception and you know, for everybody to welcome me like that was a dream for sure. And you know, I definitely didn't expect it, but you know, I used the energy and I fed off of it, and man, it was great.
You were throwing huge punches in all 3 rounds, and it looked like you had your opponent rocked a couple of times. Was it frustrating not to get the knockout, and still being able to get the finish, your first finish in a couple of fights in front of your people? What was that like for you?
Yeah, it was a little frustrating. You know, I felt like obviously I had his back on the ropes, you could say, and I got a little caught up in the bonus. I won't lie about that. The thought of being able to be comfortable financially for a little bit crept in, so I started really taking some risks and really overextending. But I wanted to finish him on the feet, so I was disappointed. But you know, I decided to go ahead and try and put the whole game on him. Let's see what he had on the ground. Went there, and it worked out in my favor. So, you know, I'm decent everywhere. So, you know, just wanted to give myself the best chance to win possible. I got the finish, so I'm happy.
And everything was new for you. You said that a couple of times that, you know, you went from fighting in rodeo barns and high school gyms to now fighting for the biggest promotion in MMA. So from, you know, media workouts to the weigh-ins to the fight, what has been the best part of this for you?
The best part has just been the experience, man, overall, is just being a part of it. You know, I realize I'm 8-0 now. I'm still brand new to the sport, but to come in and do the media workouts and, you know, be a part of some of the stuff that, you know, a guy like myself wouldn't normally be if the fights weren't near my hometown is special. I took it in, but, you know, I take it in stride. I know next time, you know, I won't be a part of that. It's a lot of it's because it's in my hometown, and I'm happy to do that. You know, I've been fighting around here for a while, so you know, I was happy I could put some butts in the seat early, and I could deliver for the UFC early. I thought the pop in the crowd for the first fight was great, and I fed off that energy, like I said, early. So for me to put some butts in the seats early, first fight was great.
Okay. And a last question for you. You mentioned wanting to cut the line at lightweight a little bit, and you are undefeated. You did get the finish. And so what's next for you? Are you going to relax and enjoy the win, or are you looking to get in the cage again as soon as possible?
No, I'm looking to get in the cage again. You know, I'm obviously still young in my career, but, you know, I am looking to cut the line, but, you know, I still have a lot of work to do. I think, you know, showed in the fight tonight, I still have some work to do. So I'm right back in the gym. You know, I'm injury-free, so going to get back to work, getting better, and next time I'm going to try to cut the line for sure. Cool. Next fight, I'm trying to get into the top 10.
Okay, and now a few questions for Dustin. So you haven't fought in almost 9 months, and now you got the fight in essentially, you know, your home city, and it was a good fight. It was your first finish in a couple of fights as well. So what was that like for you? You had a huge roaring crowd and everything, and, you know, what was the finish like?
Yeah, it was good. It's good to be back in the winning column and in the finishing column as well. You know, I came out here in the UFC and I finished my first fight with the TKO. So to be able to come out here and do it again, it's definitely another step in the right path. So that's what I want to do. I want to be able to come out here and finish fights. And as soon as I got this fight and this notice here in Nashville, my phone just started blowing up. TKO, you know, ground and pound, old school, because that's how I used to finish fights, that or submission. So to come out here and do that for 3 rounds was awesome.
Okay. And in your Octagon interview, you said, "This is the start of my time, and I'm doing it here in Nashville." So you were supposed to fight Ian McCall. And if that fight happens, you have a really good chance of getting into the top 10 in the flyweight ranks. So how do you see the rest of 2015 going for you?
Like I said, it's my time. You know, I've made adjustments to be the next best thing. And McCall, you know, he had his chance, and unfortunately, he had to pull out of the fight. So I'm not gonna hold on to that McCall fight. You know, whoever. I just came off a loss to the number 2 guy, so the number 3 guy is sitting right there. I've had nothing but hard fights in this industry, so next step up is going to be whoever I'm going to be ready for him. So to say that the start of my time, we'll see the next fight.
You looked big for 155. I haven't seen you fight in person before, but you look big for 155. Is 170 something that you ever think about that's in your future? I know you right now, obviously, you made the weight. You fought at 155 in the UFC. You won impressively. So I'm sure it's not something you're thinking about in the near term, but is 170 something down the road for you?
No, absolutely not. Have you seen those guys?
I have.
Those guys are gigantic. No, that's some Benson Henderson stuff there. For me, 55 is not a problem, really. I don't consider myself a big 55. You know, when it comes to putting weight back on, as far as on the scale or standing next to some of the bigger guys in the division, I don't consider myself that, especially with the IV ban coming. I think I'll be okay. 170 is I'm pretty short, so those guys, they get big. So, no, not something I considered.
Okay. Guess as a compliment to you then that you looked that big.
Thank you. I appreciate that.